Hey guys, how is it going? Welcome back to another video on Injustice to Mobile. Alright guys, so in this video, I'm actually going to talk about how exactly you can play Injustice to Mobile on your computer or on your PC or on your laptop. I'm going to mostly show you guys my key bindings and the emulator that I use. And I'm going to show you guys exactly how to download the emulator and various different emulators as well. Before we proceed into the video, I just wanted to let you know that if you are new to the channel and if you are watching this video for the first time, please hit the subscribe button and click on the bell notification for further updates on videos just like this. Alright guys, so this is what the emulator looks like. So there are two emulators that are basically quite good in the market. One is LD Player, which is this one, which you're seeing right now, and the other one is BlueStacks. BlueStacks has been there for a long time again, and it's a trusted and a really good emulator. You can choose one of these emulators and download it. You can just go on Google and type in LD Player, or you can type in BlueStacks, download the latest version of one of these emulators, sign in just like you sign in on your Google Play on your phone, and then download this game and you'll be good to go. All right guys, now after you download the game, what you need to do is you need to set up some key bindings. So I have two things that I use. One is my keyboard for playing Injustice 2 mobile on emulator, and the other one is my gamepad. Okay, now this is what my gamepad looks like, and it's easily available on Amazon. If I believe you can see it, right? So it's easily available on Amazon. It's not that expensive. You can get this is the Bluetooth one. You can also get the wired one at around 800 rupees or 1000 rupees. So it depends on you. And this one is around 2000 rupees. It's Cosmic Byte. Actually, I forgot the name. It's been a long time I'm using this gamepad. It's Cosmic Byte, and it's really good actually. The build quality and everything is great. All right, guys, now let's get on to the topic again. So I use mostly, when I'm even recording the videos or when I'm playing, when I'm not recording, I basically prefer to use a gamepad because, I basically want to relax while I'm playing. And when I'm playing on the keyboard, you just have to consistently, be straight and keep your hands down on the keyboard, and you can't move. You can move a lot, with your hands. But when you have a gamepad, you just, take it like this, and you can go wherever you want. You can like do anything else you want to do. But with a keyboard, you have to be straight on your seat, glued to your seat, without moving your fingers and your hands. All right, guys. So we're gonna talk about the key bindings for both these, methods. So let's go into. Before we start, with the key bindings, let me show you my settings that I have for my emulator. So I have 1920. So this is full HD, 1920 and 1080 pixels. DPI is 280. So this is full HD. That's what I'm playing in the tablet mode. You can also switch to phone mode, but then the size of this emulator will reduce. Ultra wide, this will only be wide, it won't be long enough. And then you can also add your customized resolution over here, and the DPI as well. And then apart from that, 4 cores, I think you should only select the one which is recommended by your emulator. And then again, there is RAM. I use the highest one. This is recommended, but I just prefer to use the highest one so that my game does not lag. It still lag anyways, when it has to. Yeah, and then the model that I'm using is it's a random model, and I think the best one that I have used so far, I don't know how it got changed. It's ROG Phone 2. Yeah. And you can also set up the frames. You can go it to 90 frames per second, but then the model changes over here again. I think this is the one which is good enough, and I think you should keep it Asus, the ROG Phone 2. All right, guys. Now moving on, and then there's the frame rate data and everything else. You need to figure out the specifications of your computer, and according to that, you need to set up these settings, which is not that difficult actually. If you play PUBG or any other game, there is the basically the first person shooter games. Then you can also do the settings over here. There is also 2K applicable only if you have GTX. I do have GTX. It's not, it's higher actually. GTX, I think it's 17 something. All right, so the audio network, there are some shortcuts, wallpapers, and other settings, which I think the most important is the resolution, the RAM and stuff, CPU, and the model of the phone that we are using. All right, guys, now getting into the key bindings, let's start off with the gamepad. So there are certain buttons over here. As you can see, there is the analog stick, which is used to swipe up. Let me show you. This is the analog stick, which is used to swipe up, down, left, and right. Okay, and then I have added some buttons over here. So there is an A button, the button in green color. A, it is for to tap, like tap, 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 and then you tap for the basic hits. So that is the A button for. And then if you have to tag in, I have used the arrow keys. This is for the middle character, and this one is for the last character. And eventually, I mean, the first character is obviously in the game, so there is no way to add a third arrow over here. That really doesn't make any sense. All right, so there is one for tagging in, the second one, and the last one is down arrow. And then there is right to. So right to hold block. There is a left to LT to do the super move, and then there is LB. I don't know what exactly this does, but yeah, it is there, so it should do something. I don't think it's important, it's necessary over here. Let me just remove it. It doesn't do anything. I think that was there by mistake. All right, then for the specials, there is X. X is in the blue color, X, Y in the yellow color, and then the B in the red one. Let me just take it close. So, and then there is a start button over here that I've added here to pause the game. And yes, I actually know why the LB button was there. It was to start the fight. Yes, now I remember that, but I don't think we need that. I can easily do that with the arrow key, with the cursor. And then obviously this is the joystick, the control view of the joystick, and the joystick is the analog stick over here. This is what I use to swipe right, swipe left, up and down, which works quite fine. Even if it's mostly people, what they think is that if it's an analog stick, then there might be a possibility that your swipes won't be as optimal or as precise as with the arrow stick with the arrows. But I think if you practice a lot, if you practice like almost every day like I do, you will master this, and it won't be difficult for you to swipe left, right, up and down. All right, guys, so now after this I think now we're gonna move on. Let me just exit this. Now we are going to move on and see the key bindings for the keyboard. All right, guys, the keyboard, I cannot show you the keyboard exactly, but I'm pretty sure you know these numbers over here. Number 1 is not relevant, but so these are the numerical keys that are there on the top of the keyboard. Those are the numerical keys, and so I used 2 obviously to tag in the second character, and the 3 one is to use to tag in the third character. And as you can see over here, W, A, S, and D is for up, down, forward, and backward. Pretty easy to understand over here. Spacebar is to block. You just need to hit spacebar and you'll block. And then there is enter. Now this enter is not the one in the middle of the keyboard. It's the right. It's on the right side where you have the numlock and the plus and minus sign over there. So that enter I use to do the taps on the screen. And then there's shift. Shift is here to do the super move. And these num1, num2, num3 are the numbers that are again there on the right side of the keyboard, right below the numerical lock. And it works fine. I have to use both my hands over here, just like the gamepad. The only issue that I see with the keyboard is that you have to be like this, straight, erect, and you have to consistently keep your fingers on the keyboard. Instead of gamepad, you can just go back, play, keep your legs above the above the desk and something, do something fancy. But that is the main reason why I use a gamepad. And the issue with gamepad is that your analog stick, if you're not precise, or if you're not used to with the analog stick, then you might you might basically do something like this, or something like this, or something like this. so that it basically messes up your formation when you're going front, behind, or up and down. But I really think if you practice enough, you will be good to go. So these are the key bindings, guys, and I hope that you guys have a pretty decent idea about everything else apart from the key binding. I mean, what gameplay needs what, like some of the characters. Some of the game modes, like let's say arena, you have to consistently change the characters, which can be easily done by the cursor. And even you can also do some things like doing specials with your cursor, or maybe tagging in your character with your cursor, and then finding out a different format or a different setup. It's not mandatory, or it's not necessary that you have to follow the exact same thing that I said. This works for me, and it's much more easier. I don't like to use a mouse or a cursor while I'm playing the game. A lot of people might also prefer to use a mouse instead of using these numbers and these keys on the keyboard. So it's totally depending on your style of playing. And if you are a guy with a mouse, then yeah, you can, instead of adding numbers to over here to tag in, you can use your mouse. Or instead of using any numbers or any keys over here, you can use the mouse too. For the super move, you can use the mouse, but for blocking, I think you cannot use the mouse, because you need to you cannot just click that button for a very long time and without moving it. So I think for blocking, you should use a key. For doing taps, you can use a mouse. Tap, 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 swipe right, tap, 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 swipe down, up, left, right, whatever you want. But I still think keyboard for me works, so you should give it a try once. And if you have a gamepad, it's great. You might face some issues initially, with the swipes, mostly with the swipes. But I think apart from that, doing the specials, doing the tag-ins, doing the super move, blocking will be very easy than the keyboard. Just need a little bit of practice, and you'll be good to go. Alright guys, so if you have any issues or any questions about this build, about the setup, please let me know. If you want to know my specifications of my laptop that I'm using, so I'm basically using HP gaming laptop, HP Pavilion gaming laptop. It has 16 GB RAM. It has a 6 GB, 6 GB NVIDIA GTX graphics card, 1640. Yeah, that's what I have. 1640 GTX 1640 Ti graphics card, and yeah, I think that is pretty much it. It's a full HD laptop, so I don't see any issues with the recording as well. So guys, if you have any other questions apart from this, please let me know in the comments, and I'll be more than happy to answer them to you. All right guys, so thank you for your time. You guys have a great day ahead. Take care of yourselves, be blessed, and stay safe. Have a good one, guys. Have a good one. Bye bye.